rolling. Bunch of deer over there. Yeah, there's like 3 does. All right, first day of exercising. Felt like I needed it. Didn't feel like I had enough energy throughout the day, so I'm gonna try to start my mornings off like this. Didn't bring water, so I'm really thirsty. Saw some deer out there though. That was cool. All right, so I just got out of the shower. I'm making some breakfast, making some egg and cheese sandwich. But I was on YouTube scrolling through my feed, and all these wheelchair etiquette videos were popping up. So I was like, all right, I'll watch one. Oh man, they're pretty funny. Like, I am not politically correct. I have really thick skin, a really hard head. But some of these videos are like, don't call me disabled or handicapped, call me a wheelchair user. And then the very next part, he's like, don't park in a handicapped spot. You just told me not to call you handicapped, but you're parking in a handicapped spot. Why are you parking in a handicapped spot if you're not handicapped? That makes no sense at all. I agree. If you're not handicapped, disabled, paraplegic, wheelchair user, you shouldn't park in a handicapped spot. We need the room to get out. You know, it takes a little more room for us to open our door all the way so we can get our wheelchair out. I agree with that. Don't park there. But you're gonna get offended by being called handicapped? That's ridiculous. If you're offended from me saying all this stuff, you might as well unsubscribe from my channel right now, because you're probably gonna hear a lot of this crap in my videos. Because it's stupid. Why do people get offended over this stupid stuff? It's like, don't touch my wheelchair. That invades my privacy, my personal space. A wheelchair is an extension of our body. You know, I hear a lot of people get offended that someone rides in their wheelchair because they can stand up and get out and walk away from it. You're gonna get offended. Like, I let anyone and everyone ride in my wheelchair. You wanna ride in my wheelchair? Go for it. It's fun. It can be a lot of fun watching people try to ride around in your wheelchair. They don't know what they're doing. They're probably gonna fall. It's gonna be funny. You're gonna get some laughs out of it. Who cares if they can walk? You're paralyzed. You can't. Get over it. You know, like, you can still have a good life. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm not PC at all. Like I said, I don't understand how people get offended over these stupid things. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me paralyzed. You can call me paraplegic. You can call me a gimp. You can call me a crip. Well, don't call me a crip, because the Bloods might come after me. I don't need any of that. But you can call me crippled or handicap or wheelchair user or physically disabled. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I don't care. I am handicapped, physically disabled. I am a gimp. I am crippled. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I am probably all of those things. But if you talk trash to, like, my family or something like that, I'm gonna pull a Jake Sully on your ass. I don't know. I don't get wheelchair etiquette. It doesn't make any sense to me. like, people are curious about that. They're gonna look, they're gonna stare, they're gonna ask you questions. Answer them, be nice. It's not very hard to be nice. You know, I see so many wheelchair users and they get so offended by stuff and it makes them look like an asshole. Because that's what you're doing. You're being a jerk when you get offended by someone talking to you and they call you paralyzed or wheelchair user or handicap or like, who cares? You're sitting in a wheelchair. Just because you're paralyzed or handicapped or physically disabled or a wheelchair user, like, nothing's entitled to you. Society owes you nothing. The only thing that is entitled to you is access, like everybody else. We all deserve access to the same events, same places, same restaurants, same stores, all that stuff. That's all we deserve. That's it. The same as everybody else. Like, I'm cutting strawberries, that's why I have a knife, so don't freak out. But, you know, I started this channel, one of the reasons was to help newly injured people. You know, someone that just had a spinal cord injury, you know, no matter how it happened, if it was your fault, someone else's fault, or just chance, or whatever, it just happened, you know. The thing about a spinal cord injury is it can happen to anyone. It can happen to you, it happened to me, I caused it myself. Go check out how I got paralyzed in this video. It's somewhere in the middle of the vlog. Like, okay, so I understand the thing about disabled. You know, someone doesn't want to be called disabled because we can still do a lot of stuff, right? I mean, I do everything. But it's the way people take it, you know. So they called you disabled because you are physically disabled. They're not trying to offend you because they called you disabled. You are physically disabled. It doesn't mean you can't do stuff. You can still drive a car, you can still work, you can still have a good life. You can still do so many things. I've done so many things. I've done things that people were, you know, couldn't believe. Like, I changed the transmission in a car, 2 cars actually. I do almost all my car work, mechanical work. You know, I can still take out the trash, although I use the excuse in my household that I can't do that, I'm paralyzed, as a joke, because I think it's funny and it's not as efficient for me to vacuum the floor when I have an able-bodied person in the house that can do it. Like, I can still do anything I want besides dance because I have no rhythm. That's about it. Anything and everything, I can do it. I'm not good at climbing stairs unless I have a seatbelt in my chair, but I can still do it. So, if you get offended by this video because I called you disabled because you're in a wheelchair and you can't walk, then hit that unsubscribe button. It's not gonna bother me. I'm here to show people that you can do and to prove the notion of being disabled isn't anything else than just you can't walk. You know, we're all humans, right? So just talk to someone in a wheelchair like they're another human. You don't have to get all crazy and uncomfortable about it. I've talked to so many people out in public and all that, and they'll just come up and ask me questions, and I just happily answer them. I have no care in the world. I am not ashamed of being in a wheelchair. I did this to myself. I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but get over it. You still have a life. You can still have a glorious life. You can still have a wife. You can probably still have kids. It might be a little different, but you can still do all these things. You can still have sex. You can still have a boyfriend or girlfriend. I've dated so many people since I've been in a wheelchair. Not anymore because I found the one that I want to stay with forever. But It's just, I hate PC. It's ridiculous. Hate it. People get so offended. They're getting offended by statues now. Like, really? It's a statue. It's part of history. We need to remember history so we don't repeat our past.